Moving into water, folks, Wall Street firms are buying land and water rights in the Western United States. So, during a decades long mega drought in the rural West near the Arizona and California border, small town life often depends on water sources, namely things like the Colorado River. And that nourishes crops, sustains the wildlife, provides recreational entertainment, and of course, revenue from the locals and tourists spending money. Enter Mass Mutual, who bought 500 acres of land, not to farm, but for the water rights. Now, why does that matter? Okay, a firm came in, bought water rights. Whoop-de-doo. So what? Well, a growing suburb of Phoenix, about 200 miles away from that rural area, purchased those water rights from Mass Mutual for $27 million. So what does that mean? It means the water's not going to that area anymore. The water's going 200 miles away. And that means that arid region, the region that's been in a mega drought for decades, is now throttling. It has now had their water throttled, and they are still suffering from a drought. And so there's no one to protect them there.
I
You
know I'm
look
confused. I
concerned.
mean, I just don't understand how that's. I don't. This is. I don't. It's literally blowing my mind. My mind is blowing up. I'm having a slight mental breakdown, understanding the logic of what has occurred here. You're trying to tell me that a private firm was allowed to somehow commandeer water, access to water.
Yeah, I'm checking on it.
Okay.
So because this kind of threw me as well. And so at first, I was unsure exactly if it was the profit from the water is now being given to someone else or the actual water. And I am fairly certain that it is the water itself.
Right, because they bought it and they're like, it's ours, and we can give it to whoever pays the most for it, even if we're trucking it 200 miles away, which makes sense if this were, I don't know, Poland Spring and their specific spring, I guess. My head hurts. I just, oh my God. First of all, in a desert or in an arid region like Arizona, the fact that the government would allow anyone to purchase water rights to move water, knowing that this is a desperate area, or like that's the thing. There should just be parts of the United States that are zoned off as this is an ecological, fragile place. I'm sure the scientists, people bigger brain than myself, could create better wordplay with regard to what we call this. But to say that it is just ecologically fragile, and just like we do with endangered species, and everything needs to be secured and partitioned accordingly based on the fragility of this ecosystem. To allow a private entity to have sway over a vital resource like water, I just
It's crazy, right?
I can't even begin to fathom how this occurred or how this was allowed, or even, I mean, I know why politicians would do this. I mean, why would they care if their constituents aren't concerned or even aware? But
Well,
I
you
mean,
have
imagine, yeah,
this suburb of Phoenix. I mean, the rural area is rural. Like, I think the population size is like 300 or like,
mm-hmm,
something in one of the towns.
yeah,
So it's rural. And the constituents, if they're really worried about that in terms of votes, then their concern is elsewhere. Their concern is the suburb of Phoenix.
I guess. But I'm saying but they have representation. Their representative allowed this to happen. So I mean, it's you would think that they would be under fire. I mean, that might be a different conversation. We don't know what the politics is going on right around
Or
there, but
paid off, or who knows, or
I just
who
that's just wild.
knows.
It's
It
just wild.
is.
It's something to sit and think about because it's so depressingly. It's like the
You're starting
worst.
to see
Yeah,
industry, government versus the people, right? It's like
yeah.
it's just,
That's crazy.
and there's more.
All
There's
right, go
more.
on.